Large House Review Study Committee has less than a year to develop recommendations for town meeting to consider in October. Their goal is to address the growing concerns about oversized homes and the loss of starter houses in town. This 14-member committee, which includes elected officials, real estate professionals, and residents, has met twice so far. Each meeting featured a 2-hour discussion with members ultimately agreeing that replacement homes on smaller lots and regulations on floor areas should be prioritized for study. Municipal producer Yu Xiaoyuan brings us the highlights of their discussion.
One of the first questions the committee grappled with was what makes many of the newly built houses seem out of place in Needham.
So what does that mean? Doesn't fit in? It's a combination of, is it too high for the neighborhood? Is it too close to the property lines for the neighborhood? Or overall, the massing of the house is just simply too big for the neighborhood?
Marion Cooley, a long-serving member of the Select Board, observed the issue often arises with homes built on non-conforming lots. These are lots created before 1986 that are smaller than the required 10,000 square feet or lack the minimum 80 feet of frontage.
We started with a program and we set the conditions so that every lot could meet that program, which means the real issue, in my opinion, at a macro level, is non-conforming lots that used to hold 2 or 3 bedroom houses, now hold 4 bedroom houses. And those were the places where we increased lot coverage and we increased FAR so that the program could fit on that. And we decreased setbacks so the program could fit on that. And those are the neighborhoods where people are like, we are on top of each other. We're looking in each other's windows.
The program Cooley referred to dates back to zoning changes approved by town meeting in 2017. Following recommendations from the previous Large House Committee. Director of Planning and Community Development Lee Newman explained the bylaw was revised in a way that allows the possibility of building 4-bedroom homes on these smaller lots.
The idea was, how do we enable what seemed to be the market demand to happen in a way that was still going to be respectful of existing neighborhood context, by making some adjustments to the massing on the buildings.
Many committee members agreed that floor area ratio, or FAR, is a key factor in controlling the bulk of a house. FAR determines the total floor area allowed on a lot. The committee plans to consider whether basements and attics which are currently exempt should be included in FAR calculation, and if so, whether the FAR should be adjusted and by how much. Joe Matthews, a citizen at large on the committee, first brought up this issue at the 2024 annual town meeting. He filed a petition noting the trend of finished basements and attics in new homes and urged the town to revisit its definition of habitable space. Town meeting referred the proposal to the planning board for further study, which the Large House Committee reports to.
Whichever way we go is going to have success in the end is if we decide on a definition of the space that counts. Right, and then you can maybe say, all right, we'll discount garage space, we'll discount utility space, but everything has to count. Once you have your definition of what space counts, you look at that 0.38 number, right? Because now maybe that 0.38 number, now that you're counting everything, is too small.
At its next meeting in February, the committee will review examples of recently built homes on lots less than 10,000 square feet to begin addressing the visual impact of oversized houses on smaller properties.
So let's take a look at what the footprints were. We know what the setbacks are. Look at a photo of it relative to its neighbors. I think we just need to look at some real life things and talk about how that feels, and then look. Then you can look at if you change something, what happens.
For the Needham Channel News, I'm Yu Xiaoyuan.